Hey, and welcome to the 46th episode of the Mum to Millionaire podcast. My name's Veena V, online entrepreneur, and here to help you to become more confident and creative with using video. On the show today, I think we're just going to be laughing throughout this whole interview because I love her so much. She's my American friend. She's got 3 beautiful children. She is the host of the podcast, The Marvelous Mums Club. And she just does, she's just doing so much amazing stuff at the moment that I can't wait to talk to her and literally tell you what she is doing, because I'm sure if I say it, I'll probably miss out loads of stuff. So please welcome to the show, Kirsten. Woo, woo, woo. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Everybody. Thanks for having me, Veena. I'm fantastic.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. And the reason I want to get you on is because you're one of these amazing mums who I always see pop up on my Twitter, on my Facebook, and every update I see from you, I'm just like, yes, you are killing it. You're just you're just one of those people that I think it's really good because you can inspire other mums with what you're doing. And if you can do it, it is really that thing of us mums, we can do what we want. We can create multiple income streams, run multiple businesses. It's obviously not easy, but it can be done. So tell us more about what exactly you are doing right now.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Maybe I should have made a list. Okay. So you mentioned Marvelous Moms Club podcast, and that was kind of that was maybe my second venture. I actually started a little boutique around the same time, which I'm not doing anymore. I sold out of all my inventory, and I don't like doing that. It's not fun for me. Yeah. So I let that fall by the wayside, and I did the podcast. I used to do 5 episodes a week, and now I've cut it down to 3, mostly so that people have more time to listen to each episode and don't feel like they're getting behind, because 5 was just so much for everyone. And then my husband,
even free is low. We'll talk about consistency in a minute. We will talk about this.
Yeah.
Even to do 3 podcasts a week, seriously, that is even, I know it's people listening, they might think, oh, it's just a podcast, but it takes time to prepare, to edit it, to even put it out there. But carry on. We'll come back to the podcast in just a second.
Okay. And so my husband actually quit his job in March and now works from home because we sell on Amazon. So we do Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. So that's kind of our bread and butter. That's where most of our income is coming from right now. And then because that gave us so much freedom financially, we started a course called the Amazon FBA course where we're teaching other people how to do the same thing. So that's kind of another stream of income that's slow growing. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we do? I wrote a book series, kind of an ebook series about Disneyland.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. People are asking me all the time for my tips and tricks on Disneyland and how to do it on a budget and this and that. And I was like, I'm just going to write a book, because it's so much easier just to send them a book. So I did that. I actually sat down and I was so proud of myself thinking, I wrote this in 2 hours. I am amazing. And then it's been 3 months of editing and adding and changing. And but it's finally coming out this weekend. So it's available for purchase, an ebook series.
My son just happened. God damn it, it's Friday, so my son is here with me. But and Kirsten, you missed one thing out, I think. I'm not sure if you've launched it yet. I saw was it a Periscope, I think I saw of you, that you're launching
Marvelous Moms Academy.
How could you forget that? Come on. This is
probably because it's the heaviest thing on my brain, so I'm pushing it back, I guess. It's the thing I'm spending the most time on, so I don't know how I forgot that. But yes, Marvelous Moms Academy, because the reason I started the podcast is kind of like how you summed it up. I'm really helping to inspire mothers and let them know that it's okay to have dreams and it's okay to keep creating and being yourself, because that actually in turn makes you a better mom. Instead of how everybody's perceiving motherhood's just so hard and it's the worst. And I mean, nobody says it's the worst. They say it's wonderful, but they just focus on how hard it is and how daunting and how you'll miss these days. And I'm like, why don't we just enjoy them right now and make it an amazing experience instead of this drudgery? So Marvelous Moms Academy is just taking it one step further, bringing in all these tools that I've used to learn and create my own experience and create my own goals and learn to dream again, and synthesizing it into multiple classes. And the first one's a 30-day reboot for moms, just to get you outside of your comfort zone, get you thinking outside the box, dreaming, whether you're a mompreneur or you're just a stay-at-home mom. There's something in there for all moms. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be so fun.
I'm excited. I saw it and I was like, hello. I was like, go Kirsten. Whoop, whoop. You know, when you literally like shout at the screen and no one else is there. I'm like, is anyone watching me? Like, do this?
Yes.
But no, seriously, you're doing really well. And I just love the way you're putting yourself out there. Now, before we get into all the different ways that you're making money and how other mums can do the same, because I think a lot of people are scared to have like different multiple income streams, but I believe this is the best thing to do. Like, I really do. Rather than concentrating on one thing, we should all be having different multiple income streams. Before we get onto your tips and what you're doing, let's talk about consistency. Because if anyone listens to the Mum to Millionaire podcast, like, I clearly suck at this. I would say for the first 6 months was really good. I banged out one every week, got it out there. I was like, yeah. And then the summer holidays happened, and then it's just been really on and off, which is really bad. So your podcast was 5 times a week, and now you've dropped it down to 3. So how are you actually staying consistent? Because I think this is a lot of, especially mums, people's problem, because we have the kids, we might have still a part-time job, we might be doing YouTube stuff as well. Like, how are you staying consistent with your podcasts?
Yeah, you know what? Even just having asked that question, I'm like, I don't know, but I feel like I guess I have a personality type that it's like, I have nobody else to be accountable to necessarily, but I would be so stressed out if I missed a day with an episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have just never even given that to be an option. It's just like, whether anybody else notices or not, I have committed to do 5 episodes a week, or I've committed to do 3. And even if I have to like grab someone off the street and interview them, or I have to just talk about something random, there will be an episode. It's like, I guess a little bit OCD. Like, I will have this podcast.
I must do it.
And it will be on, and people, yes. So it's really just an obligation to me, because it's something that, and I think what plays into it is how passionate I am about it and how important I know it is to people, and knowing the impact that it has on people's lives. And I know that if I can maintain that, it's just innate. I guess that consistency is innate with the podcast. It's not that way with everything, but with this, it's just like, this is the thing that I'm most excited about that I've ever done in my entire life, besides become a mother. That part's easy. Applying that principle to other things I'm doing. And I forgot to mention, I sell doTERRA essential oils as well. So that's actually, I know. I figured, I feel like a crazy person sometimes, but I've told my husband, I feel like the reason that I feel pulled in multiple directions is so that I can be a resource to help women who are going into different ventures. So say there's a mom who's doing a network marketing company. She can't come to me and think, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's never done sales. She's never done, network marketing companies. She has no idea. So it's just kind of a way for me to gain expertise in each little field to a certain degree, and then finding experts in it so I can bring even more information. But I like that, because for me, it all makes sense. To other people, it might not. But I'm kind of under this umbrella of motherhood where it's like, of course I'm going to use essential oils. I want health in my family. And I can also do it as a business, which is perfect because I'm an entrepreneur. Exactly. And then, the Disneyland book that's my mom thing. Like, that's my thing. That's the thing I'm most proud about as a mom, is that I take my kids to Disneyland once a week. So it all fits together, even though it seems super crazy. And
no, but it doesn't.
Just knowing that's
I think it's like your brand, and I think that's really good. Like what you just explained it completely. Like, you can actually give advice to people who want to start selling on Amazon because you do it. If someone wants to write an ebook, you've done it. And it's all these things. Like, I know some people always go on, stay in a niche. I know in America you say niche, not niche. It's like, you stay in a niche.
We say both. I think so.
But yeah, I also feel really bad right now because you were talking about being consistent. I was just thinking, I need to improve this in myself and be more consistent. But I think the good thing with you is that you actually got it. And I think this is a lesson to all of us, and what we should all be doing is that, number one, you're self-disciplined. Number two, like, this is the way. And I always say this to people, but then I say, I'm also a hypocrite because I don't do this. If you really want to build your brand and be serious, like, you need to be consistent. That is the way how you're going to get traction. Like, I will get so many emails from people that listen to the show. I have not uploaded a episode now for a while. So those people are just going to disappear. And, you know, and this is not, what's the point of me doing all the hard work if it's not consistent? So, you know, slap on the rest for me. Don't follow what I do. Follow what Kirsten does.
No. But like I said, it's not that way with everything. I also have a photography business. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one too. And that's like it's not even consistent, but it's that thing where it's like, oh, we're cutting short of our goal this month. Go book a photo shoot and I can make some money doing that. And I've done that for a long, long time. And I just last night was thinking, oh my gosh, somebody emailed me about a photo shoot and it's been like a week or maybe 2 weeks and I have not emailed them back. And that's money. Like, I just let money go. Yeah. That's money in my email inbox that I'm letting go. So I'm not consistent. And there do come challenges with creating multiple income streams where they each kind of need their own nurturing time. And, you know, I kind of feel like it goes in more of a monthly influx instead of a daily or weekly. Like March I was really focused on the doTERRA stuff because I was just kind of getting that started. This month has been all about the Disneyland book and Marvelous Moms Academy. And who knows what next month will bring. Each thing gets its focus and its time, but I'm still dabbling in the other things as I go and making sure they don't fall completely by the wayside.
So how is your tips for everyone? Is it just focus? Because I'm the same as you. I have different businesses and brands I'm trying to build, but it's sometimes like I literally had this breakdown about 2 weeks ago and I was like, oh my God, I'm like doing so much stuff. I need to get back into a schedule, get back into a routine. So how do you, I know we're all telling everyone like, yeah, make multiple income streams, but how do you actually focus down and do one thing at a time without feeling that, you know, overwhelmed feeling?
Well, I think what helps with my businesses that I've created and then I'm continuing to create is knowing that I'm building up passive income streams. So I'm putting a ton of work into stuff right now and then knowing it's not always going to be like this. So I'm letting myself know it's okay to put in late nights and long hours. And I try and give each thing its own day, even though, like I said, something will kind of take primary focus for the month overall. Yeah. I try and at least separate it out. So like on Mondays, I do Marvelous Mom stuff. On Tuesdays, that's our Disneyland day. That's the day we go to Disneyland. That's the day I write, you know, edits to the Disneyland book. It's just kind of each thing has its focus. And there's tools, like there's different tools you can use to make yourself settle down and focus on that one task. I have to hide my phone from myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I have to be really careful how many tabs I have open in my browser because each one, like if I do something to load, I'll go to another tab and I'm totally changed my focus, you know? Yeah. And then just, I kind of do it in order of importance too. If I'm like, what's the deadline? And I kind of work backwards from there. You know, I know this one has to be done. And I give myself really ridiculous deadlines too. Like I launched Marvelous Moms Academy and I was like, this is going to be up in 2 weeks. And I had not created a single thing for the Academy yet. Wow. So it's a little bit insane, but I knew it was in me. And I just knew if I gave myself a deadline, I would get it done. Yeah. But if not, then so it's kind of knowing yourself. Like if you need to give yourself a little bit longer, there was a tool that I learned from a mastermind where you separate everything out. You write everything down on a to-do list that you need to do. And then you mark next to it if you can do it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or a year. And then you actually make note cards, or I've used Trello, and you just write it down. You stick it in its own compartment, and you realize, okay, well, the stuff right here can't be done. The 60-day things can't be done till the 30-day things are done. And I go even further and break that down daily and weekly. Wow. I have Excel spreadsheets that you would not believe that are just like, and I literally brain dump everything down from like, I made a to-do list before we started talking, like laundry. I have to send this specific email. I have, like everything so that nothing gets lost, but I can rate it in order of importance and get it done in that order. And that's just kind of how I stay on top of stuff. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but that at least helps me. But it's like perceived that I'm consistent, even if I don't feel like I am all the time. People see and it's like that omnipresence. People want to see you everywhere doing everything. And that's kind of my brand too. Yeah. Is showing like, if I can do all of this, don't tell me that you can't do one extra thing, Yeah.
I love that. That is the key, I think. And like that is your brand as well. Like you're building different. And I just love how you I think you're I don't know, since I talked to you a couple of months ago, was it a couple of months ago now, was it last year, I can't remember now. It just seems to me that
It was a couple months ago.
Your mindset and the way you're thinking just seems to be slightly, I don't know, you just seem to be slightly different from before. You seem a lot more focused and know what you want. I think it's great, and I think that's how you're managing to do all this stuff. You seem to have been shifted really well. So, like, well done to you. Yeah. Like, it's really. Do you feel?
Thank you.
Do you feel that in yourself that you've changed over these last few months?
I definitely do.
Yeah,
I think it's helped a little bit that Ben, my husband, doesn't work anymore. So we've had to overcome that whole, like, that first month is just so weird because you're like, well, in my head, I thought when he's not working, I get to work all the time, but yet he still feels the need to, like, make money for our family. And so he was working on his Amazon stuff, his Amazon course. So just finding a really weird balance, but we're finally to a point, I think, where it's like, look, these things are already taking off. Let's focus here. So I'm just realizing the value of my time too, because it's like, even though he's home, we still have these kids. Like, we have 3 kids that still need our attention, and they don't understand.
We haven't even talked about the kids yet. I was like, we're talking like,
I know.
Where are the children? Where are they?
What about the kids? Yeah, that's a tricky one too, because they know we're working really hard to have things like a bigger home. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids right now, and we live in a very expensive place. I told you before how much it costs. We're looking at like $4,000 US dollars per month for a decent sized home. Yeah. And so people say, oh, do you own a home? I'm like, do you own like $4 million? Because that's about what it would cost for you to own a home. We will get there in 2 years. Our goal is to own a home by the time we hit our 10-year anniversary, and that's 2 years away. So we'll see. It might, maybe it'll happen sooner. But
we'll see. Like, you will, the way you're going, like, you will definitely 100% do it. We should also tell people where.
Oh, I know we will. Yeah,
we haven't even.
I know we will. It's just a matter of maybe it will be in 1 year. San Clemente. So I'm in the very bottom city in Orange County, California. So we're like 30 minutes from Disneyland. We're 1 hour from Los Angeles, 1 hour from San Diego. We're kind of in like the perfect place in the entire world. I feel like. And
is it always sunny? Are you going to make us jealous now? Is it always sunny there?
Mostly, but we do have June gloom, so it's gloomy when you think it should be the nicest weather. It's usually overcast for like a month and a half, so it's not always perfect, but it's pretty nice. It never gets below like 60, 50. 50 is really cold for us, 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
I don't know what that is in Celsius. You guys do Celsius, right?
Yeah, we do Celsius, so I'm just like 50. That's really hot. Like, that's baking, but clearly it's not 50 degrees Celsius, so.
Yeah, sorry, barrier.
What would be your advice, Kirsten, for mums who are listening to this and they're like, well, this sounds really exciting, like Kirsten's got different multiple income streams, like if someone's saying maybe on maternity or they're still working, what would your first step be for them, rather than like doing 10 things all at the same time? Is there a place they should start? I mean, is there anything, I know you said you've written an ebook about for Disneyland that people can buy. So I don't know, what would be your general advice for someone?
No, this is, everybody should just sign up for Marvelous Moms Academy, because I totally go through this whole process. I'll just plug that program right now. No, really though, I do go through that. There's a process to understanding, first of all, what you have to offer as a person that can make you money. What are you passionate about? What are you already doing that could be also, something you might not even think is a source of income? So really figuring out what you're good at and what you could consistently do. Like I said, I love doing the podcast. It's easy to be consistent because I love it. Yeah. So once you've discovered what that is, it is great to start multiple income streams, but they will all completely fail if you don't devote some kind of startup time to each one. So I would say, like, we started with the Amazon stuff, and we were just hyper focused on that. And then you kind of get it running like its own machine. And that's when you can tap in and realizing that sometimes you're not going to get to do your passion project right away. That's where my husband's kind of stuck. He's like, well, I'm not passionate about Amazon. I'm passionate about the arts, but this is a vehicle to getting me to a point where I can do what I really love and have the financial freedom to pursue whatever I want. So understand that it might not be the perfect thing the first time. You might be selling stuff, or might be doing something you totally hate. Not totally hate. Don't do something you totally hate, but just something that is maybe a little more simple, and then building upon it. And it's really not that difficult to keep. I find it's like the ocean waves are constantly in motion. The more you move, the more traction you build up, and the bigger things get, and the more opportunities that come. And you may get 6 months from now, like now I'm like in a place where I never would have imagined the opportunities I have now compared to when I began, when I was like, I have one idea. That's it. I have one idea. And now I have so many ideas. I have no time to do them all. So it's, I don't know. Does that answer it, or is that completely all over the place?
And that really resonates with me as well. It's like once you start doing something, then all of a sudden all these ideas come. You're like, hold on, there's so much opportunity here. So that is really good. No, that is good advice. And I think it's just see when you're passionate about something. It's true, you will be consistent doing it. Don't be like me and be like, oh, I'm passionate about podcasts. Oh, I'm passionate about YouTube. Oh, I'm also passionate about doing this. You must do everything. And now let's be inconsistent.
But you also have a child. Like that really does make things trickier. You have to give yourself a break for that. I have to give myself a break for that too sometimes, where I'm like, you know what? Who matters more, my audience or my kids? And it's always going to be my kids. So maybe there will come a week when I don't have 3 episodes, but I do have an assistant that does help. I have a virtual assistant who does all of my booking and my communication with my guests. And that was something I was spending hours per week doing. And now all I pretty much have to do is log in and do the interview. And then of course I still do my own editing, but it's just nice to have something at least systematized. And I plan on systematizing everything I do. But right now I'm putting in the work so I can teach someone.
I was going to ask you that as well. When did you hire in help? Because I think it is really good to start outsourcing. Like I really want to get someone to start doing my PR or marketing for me, because number one, I hate doing it, and number two, it's just so time consuming for me. I have no passion. I'm like, why am I doing? I would rather just make the content and someone else, I'll be like, here you go, market my podcast for me. So that's something I'm seriously into doing. So, I mean, what stage did you start outsourcing? Was it quite early on? Well, it is, isn't it? Because
I'm still pretty early on, so
it is.
It's only been on for 4 months, so I think that she's been helping me out for about 6 weeks. Wow. And here's what I'll say to you, since you're in that place. I did it when I got to a point where if I didn't get help, it wasn't going to keep being amazing. So if you feel like you're unable to be consistent and you're just starting to struggle keeping the content and not even able to do the stuff you're passionate about, then it's time to get somebody to help you. And financially, it might be a sacrifice to where you're not making as much money, but it's going to free up so much time to do the stuff that's going to make you the most money. Does that make sense? Like it just feels really counterintuitive, but it's actually going to lead to a bigger chunk of cash.
No, I'm so glad you said that, because I think even my mindset a couple of years ago, maybe some people listening to the podcast now, I know what they'll be thinking. They'll be like, but I can't hire anyone to help me. Haven't got enough money. But it's that thing of trying to find the money, because then what you said, you'll get more time to go out and be consistent, and then you'll get brands coming to, or whatever your business is. You're just going to have more time to spend on your business while someone can take care of the admin and it doesn't have to be expensive. Like virtual assistants, they're not expensive. You can get a really good one, I'm sure, but not very much.
I'm actually doing my assistant right now is one of my very best friends, and we're doing it on trade for coaching. So I'm coaching her through her business, and she's helping me with mine.
I'm so glad.
So you can do something like that.
Yeah. So you don't even have to pay someone. Do like a trade where you might be helping someone with their marketing, and in return they help you with your editing or whatever your business is. Just find other mums or other business people. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because that just completely goes over the whole money issue then. You're trading time with someone else then.
Yeah.
Do you have any other productivity tips?
Productivity tips? Let's see.
I know it's really early for you right now, but...
No, I've been up for hours actually. There's my productivity tip. That's my productivity tip. Get up early. I tell everybody in the Marvelous Moms group, and I've tried to do a book club around this book, and there's so much resistance because nobody wants to get up earlier than normal because you're already a mom and you're already tired. Yeah. I started doing Miracle Morning. I don't know if you've heard of this book by Hal Elrod.
Yeah.
Getting up an hour earlier. Yeah, and that's led to so much productivity. Even if in that hour I'm not doing any work, It gets me in the proper mindset to be able to work. It helps me get through like the housework. Like I remember when Ben was working, I was able to have all the dishes done and the house clean before he left. And then when he was gone, it was like, oh, now I feel like it's okay for me to spend a little bit of time working while the kids are coloring or whatever. And really like another productivity thing is just really like focusing down, hiding your phone. They have boxes you can lock candy in so you don't eat it. Lock your phone. I have a friend who said she's going to do that because she has to delete different apps off of her phone or she will be on it all the time. You know what's so funny to me is I see people who are like, I really want to succeed and I really want to do so well with this. And then I will notice, like if I have an off day where I just don't work, I see them on people's periscopes all day long. Granted, I'm on there too, but every other day of the week, I'm hustling, you know, like this is not, it's very uncomfortable for me to take a lazy day, but I know I need it to keep being amazing all the other days. So I'm like, don't whine to me if you're wasting so much time. Like, I know you're on Facebook a lot. I know you're on these social media platforms all the time. And that actually excites me because I'm like, no wonder I'm able to do so much. Like the average person is sitting on their butt watching TV or sitting on Periscope or Facebook all day long. Of course I'm going to be able to hit my goal because there's so many people who aren't trying. So.
I think you brought up a good tip there, though, about I always do this literally every other day. I analyze my behavior and sometimes I think, oh my God, I've checked my phone about 20 times today. Stop. I don't need to keep checking Facebook, keep checking Twitter. No one is going to die if I don't respond to someone's tweet within an hour. Like, it's okay.
Exactly.
So I think that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up as well, because it's like, just analyze yourself and see what you're doing yourself. Because I bet those people that you're watching on Periscope, they actually might not be realizing they're doing it. Does that make sense? They might just be like, and then they're just like, oh.
I totally agree.
So that was a good observation.
I don't know why I didn't get anything done today. I don't know. I was on Periscope and I was networking all day. I don't understand why I made no money. I don't know. Oh, come on.
Kirsten, I literally just think you're amazing. Like, seriously, you've done so well in a short space of time. I'm literally so excited to see what your future holds for you. Like, so you don't understand. I'm so excited for you. Where can we find you? Where can we connect with you? Because I'm sure loads of people would want to do that.
Everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm just kidding. MarvelousMomsClub.com. Yeah, I would just say MarvelousMomsClub.com. You can find information about me. I feel like there will be links to eventually everything on there. You can go to KirstenTyrrel.com. I don't know when you're airing this, but it has been formerly my photography website. Now we're changing it so that it's branded as me. Yeah. So that everything I'm doing will be on there. I'm on Twitter, Marvelous_moms, Periscope, same thing, Instagram, Marvelous Moms. There's a Facebook group for moms if you're interested in joining that. Just search Marvelous Moms on Facebook. Or Veena can add you in. If that's your thing. It's awesome.
I will. And if you missed all of those links, do not worry. They're going to be up on the blog post, mumtomillionaire.com/episode 46. So you can see Kirsten's beautiful face over there, all her links and her top tips as well, and how you can make money. Kirsten, thank you so much for coming on the Mum to Millionaire podcast. We love you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
mumtomillionaire.com. Excel in business and life. Be a go-getter.